Hey guys, hey. How are you? This is your girl Evadne, making that late night stop, I promise. Who is here? Who is up? Let me see where the night owls tonight. Let me see who is here. Oh, two people have joined. Put your thing in the comment. Let me see who is here. Just go ahead and put your comment your name in the chat so I see who is here. And good evening. Thank you for joining. I am so happy to see that some people are still up. Who is really up and what are you doing up? I know some of you are at work. Come on guys, light up that chat, light up that chat, light up the chat. The first one is in. It's O'Neill Campbell. Hey O'Neill. Where are you joining me from, O'Neill? And Dunette Dixon watching from Florida. Hi Dunette. Nice to have you. Who else is here? Light up the chat, guys. Light up the chat. Let's have some fun. Go ahead and put it in the chat so I know who is here. Is anyone here from the group of people who already chose a project to work on? Show yourself, show yourself, show yourself. Okay, O'Neill is in Brooklyn, New York, down the road from me. Nice, O'Neill, nice. Remember, if you want to call in, this is the number to call in, 347. This is the number that you can call in if you want to speak live on the program. Those of you who are overseas, you can call on WhatsApp. Well, O'Neill and Donette can call me live because they're in America. Also, Pauline just joined. Hi, Pauline. Pauline is in Florida. Anybody want to jump on the live to chat, to share tonight? Just to talk about, you know, how they feel about stuff that's happening around them. Um, what are you doing to cope? How are you trying to make a difference? Anyone want to jump onto the phone? Please go ahead. I'm here. I'll answer and put you on live. Go ahead, Pauline, if you want to join to talk about something. Who else is here? It's the end of the week almost, and we're thankful that we are alive. So much has happened over the week that we have to be thankful for that we are still here. Um, Lots of pasa pasa happening in Jamaica. Um, and all over the world. Everybody had their own story. But let's hear what the persons who are here, what they want to talk about. Anybody want to join live to talk, to pray, to sing, to do anything? Just let me know. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are on a program to get persons to do projects, small projects from wherever they are, small project that they can manage, and maybe one or two other persons with them to make a difference to someone. It doesn't have to be someone in Jamaica. It could be someone anywhere in the world, but you just want to see you doing something to help. Pauline says, yeah, a lot going on in Jamaica at the moment. Yes, my dear, a lot of things happening in Jamaica. Um, things unimaginable happening there. Things we can't even wrap our brain around. When you hear things about human trafficking, talk being pushed around, it's sad. O'Neill says working tomorrow, but I will call you. The summer is almost over. Yeah, O'Neill. Yeah, sure. You gonna call in straight on the number? Okay, I'm waiting for O'Neill's call. Oh, Pauline came in before O'Neill. Hey, Pauline.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy.
Yes, you're on the live.
I've been watching for the past couple of days some some things that's going on in. Hey, I've been watching for the time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, Pauline.
Okay.
Don't listen to yourself on the thing. Just keep talking.
Okay. I've been watching for the past couple of days and listening to a few things that's been going on in Jamaica,
Yeah.
and I am so shocked.
Mm-hmm. Very disgraceful.
I I just cannot believe all of this thing that's going on there.
Very, very disgraceful. And so good that these things are coming to light right now so that people can understand that, you know, there's much more to Jamaica than what meets the eye.
Exactly. Those things that they talk about, I always heard about them happening in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
um, in other parts of the
Mm-hmm.
world, but never in Jamaica.
Right. Wow. It's
Jamaica needs a lot of prayer. Uh, you know,
they need more
needs
than
a
prayer.
lot of prayer. Prayer. Prayer night, morning, noonday. Needs prayer. Prayer, prayer.
And to think where some of this corruption and nonsense is happening, or this wickedness is not nonsense, is wickedness. Um,
Yes, yes.
where it is. So what are the common regular folks supposed to do if those who are set to lead us and to guide the society are behaving this way? What are the other people supposed to do?
But they're the ones who's doing all of it. The ones that we're supposed to look after.
Right, right.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly, allegedly.
Yeah. Well, I hope it
You
turns
know,
out not to be true because it sound really frightening. I did see an article.
scary, scary,
I I I,
scary.
I saw an article issue. Some kind of statement issued by the U.S. About
Yes,
about the human trafficking situation, the alleged
yes.
human trafficking situation in Jamaica, and the implication of the force.
Yes.
You
And
know.
the force came out today with a statement about that, actually.
Oh, really? I
Yeah, the
really
force
hope.
came out today, and they had, there has been a few people, I don't know if I should name any names, that's been
No, don't call any name.
protesting
Hmm.
about this very situation. And that particular person has been pushing hard to get answers. And
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, they came out today saying a few things. Yeah, is it JTC or whatever their name? I don't know what their name is.
Um,
But
finally,
yeah,
finally.
yeah, they
I
came out
mean,
today.
nobody saw the
And,
necessity to jump in front of this thing,
and
um,
I said, wow. I
because
said,
they thought it
wow.
would just blow over. Like people have to understand that with the changing in social media and people having more access to social media,
Yeah.
it is creating a change in the way people behave in Jamaica. Normally, those things would get swept under the rug and be gone, but no, people have other ways to get around the primary media houses. So they form their own media and they are pushing. They're pushing and
Yes.
they're pushing by the thousands. So
Yes.
it's so disrespectful in my estimation that they didn't try to get in front of the story, and because they didn't think it was important. So for
And
them to
to
come
the
out,
ordinary man, or woman who is poor,
uh-huh,
it's very shocking
it is
because
shocking to
we are
anybody.
poor, not poor, not poor, are poor, and you need money to make almost an hour. You do almost anything. You
Yeah,
know?
it's shocking to anybody. So your safety, wow, it's not just that you're unsafe because of a gunman. You're unsafe because of just being in Jamaica.
But you don't even need to worry about the government anymore. Forget about them. Forget about the drug dealers. Forget about the drug dealers. You know?
Yeah.
It's another new element that's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I'm
Wow. It's
it's,
just anyway. Let me give somebody else a chance to call in.
sure, sure. You could come back later
Praise
if
God.
you come up with any
We
other
need prayer,
point.
prayer, prayer, prayer,
All right, you
prayer.
could you could look back for the statement that they came out with today and hit us back with that. I didn't see that
Excuse me.
statement. Uh,
Excuse me.
you can look for the statement that the Jamaica Constabulary issued and hit us back with that. I
Well,
didn't see it.
you know where I actually saw it. I don't know if you heard of Andre Stevens.
Yeah.
It was on his page.
Okay, you could find it back and read it for us when you call back. All right. Who
Okay.
else? Uh, all right.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. Um, O'Neill, are you coming through? Wow, the situations at hand, they're troubling. Who else is coming through? Donna, how are you? Thank you for joining us. She said, it's a pleasure. Good night to all the wonderful people. Yes, good night. Where are you joining from, Donna? Who else wanted to come through here to say something? It is a disgrace to see what we have stooped to in Jamaica. But whoever is doing all of these things, just remember that it's not business as usual in Jamaica because social media is 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 I could say probably almost as powerful as regular media or more powerful. Probably more powerful because it's reaching more people all over the world. And and so we have to be careful. We have to be careful. We can't hide around some of the sins that that people normally commit and get away with, sins against each other that no one was watching, no one was seeing, no one was crying out about. I said this over and over and over. We need to find our voices, especially the ladies. We need to find our voices. We need to speak out against what's happening. And most people stay quiet because they're afraid. But what are you afraid of? They're gonna kill you if you talk, and if you don't talk, they're gonna kill you just the same because the society is getting so corrupt. Like, how can you stand by and do nothing, right? How can you not add your voice to the outcry for change and for something to be done for justice? How could you not add your voice to that? Then, if you don't, you will always be in a society that is riddled by fear. You will always be caught up in that. Because in order for us to bring changes, we have to demand change. We can't just leave things as they are. Who else is here who wants to say something? Pauline, have you done any work yet as far as your project is concerned? Have you started figuring out how is this going to be done? Is it going to be a public forum? Is it going to be in the form of training? What are you thinking about doing for the grief counseling? How do you plan to approach this? For those of you who don't know, Pauline is going to be spearheading a project for grief counseling, so that people can get some kind of help with dealing with their recent grief from, the multiple deaths that each of us have, in the terms of family and friends. I don't know anybody who doesn't have someone who died, especially over the last 2 years, or multiple people dying, whether it's from COVID or just violence or just regular old sick, out of the blue sky. So she thought that people need to learn how to handle some of this grief so that they can cope better. So we should have some kind of um, training or seminar or something to help or show or teach people how to cope with grief. Uh, so I'm asking Pauline, have you figured out what form that will take yet? No? Okay. I didn't hear back from her. I didn't get a response. And remember, we're moving ahead with the scholarships, two scholarships now, not one, for two students who are starting their final year at Beersheba for the upcoming school year. They will be sponsored through the year by an initiative by Novelet Wilson. They'll be sponsored for the whole year, and then one of them will receive sponsorship going into high school and college, providing they stick with the plan and keep their grades up and so on. Pauline says, I am still looking into, I will be talking to a pastor about it. He has family members who passed away on the bus crash that killed, uh, I think, two persons. I think it's more than two, Pauline. Even today, I heard that somebody else died recently and a few more injured. Yeah, if it's the St. Anne bus crash, I think it's more than two. Yeah, but sorry about that. Yeah, but sure, people like those really need some counseling, for real, for real, for real, for real. A whole community probably lost people. So so yeah, and we have another young lady out of Bulbe Bulbe St. Andrew, who will be doing a project to feed the elderly and children. She'll be cooking for them 3 times per week, 15 to 20 people, each kids or adults, and someone from the Newmarket area also proposed a project like similar to that one. So we're really in the process of helping people to put their ideas on paper and to map out what the project would cost, what it will look like, a budget so that they can make this public. So if people want to help them, they can, and but they know where the money is going and how it will be spent. Oh, yes, Pauline. Those people would definitely need counseling to such a horrific accident. So yeah, those are the projects we're rolling with right now until more people come aboard with new ideas. So if anyone is on here tonight who has a new idea for a project, they can step forth and tell us how they can help. Hey, cousin Maxine, how you doing? Um, yeah, Maxine, we're here talking about grief counseling. I know that is kind of almost up your alley. I don't know if you want to assist with this project or make one of your own. Yeah. So the persons who are here tonight who have not yet stepped forward to do a project, please do so. We're starting with the impact of one, meaning one person stepping forward to make change, to put something out there. You don't have to start with a big project that you can't manage. Start with a small project that you can manage, and you need maybe one or two other persons with you to manage this project, and then you can keep spreading from there. We we're not trying to overburden anyone. We're just saying one person can make a hell of a difference to society. And if one person step forward to do something, maybe other persons will step behind them to help them. But you have to make that initiative. You have to step out to do that. And so far, we've had few. Oh, and I didn't mention the project at Giddy Hall. They need basic school and they need their football, their court for people to play, especially ladies. It seems don't have any kind of court to play on. So they have their groups over there, but they need help because their groups are small. Um, Miss Elliott says yes, they do. Oh, Ivadne need counseling. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So if anybody, Maxine or anybody who joined tonight, if you have an idea for a project, you can just mention it here. You can call in on the number that is in the chat. I can put the number here again. If you want to talk about anything publicly, you could call the number or you could call it to talk about a project that you are thinking of putting forth, right? We just want to make changes. That's all. We want to bring change. We just don't want to sit and talk about what's bad, what's wrong, what's not happening, but we want to put forward some solutions. We want let it start, at the grassroots level, the change. It will eventually swell. We can have a ripple effect. If people see that some people are trying out there, then they will jump on and do the same. Let's try to be positive. Let's try to bring, fresh a breath of fresh air to what's happening. The news the news flying around Jamaica is not good right now. Not the good. But let's try to see if we can, while others fight to to bring all of this to light, let's fight to bring some positive changes. Let's see if we can make a difference in the lives of some people. And that's all I'm asking for. Anyone who want to call in, the line is still open. You can call in and speak about what's on your mind, whether it's something concerning the country or something, you know, that you're moved to talk about, or you have a project that you wish to bring forth. We're here. We're here to support. We are here to support. Anybody else? Anybody wish to speak? Come on, people. Come on, come on. Let's put your comments in the chat or call in to speak about what's on your mind. Call in, let's chat about what's going on, what's on your mind. I'm trying to see. I don't remember where I saw that article about Jamaica. Listen, um, it's bad that our name has to be spread abroad as a country celebrating 60 years, you know. It's bad that at this time our name is being spread abroad about us having human trafficking issues. That's really, really bad. Really, really bad. And that's no small thing. If it is true, then I don't know what we're going to do about that. I really don't know because that's a new story. That's a new thing to step into, right? I don't know what we as a country gonna do about something so dark and dangerous um
might have taken a leap.
and really and truly sad that we have come to that. How can we? How can we sit back and take in this? It is not. I'm trying to see if I can locate that article. I'm trying to see if I can locate that newspaper. Okay, it's here. I found it. U.S. State Department expresses concern that Jamaica, it is from the Observer. U.S. State Department expresses concern that some Jamaican cops could be involved in human trafficking. The United States Department has expressed concern for human trafficking. Where's the rest of the article? In its 2021 trafficking in person report released last week, the State Department said some police allegedly facilitated or participated in sex trafficking, as it kept Jamaica in Tier 2 ranking, which indicates that the Jamaican government does not fully meet the minimum standard for the elimination of trafficking, but is making significant effort to do so. As reported over the past 5 years, human trafficking exploits domestic and foreign victims in Jamaica, and traffickers exploit victims from Jamaica abroad. Um, this is not good. This is definitely not good. Oh, this article is actually from July 2021, but not good. Wonder where they are on that right now. All right. Anybody want to call in? Anybody who has something to say? You can call in, whether it's gonna be about this trafficking thing or about making sure that our community is doing better, making sure that you are doing your part, which is what I'm more interested in, that you on your level is doing something to bring about change. Um, we have enough of the grime and dirt and um, you know, all these sad things coming to the forefront. But good can triumph evil. So I want to be the facilitator of um us creating goodness in the world. Um, because it seemed to me that there's enough evil out there, more than enough to go around. So let us start to help see how we can help. What can we do? What can you do in your small corner to bring about change? All right, guys, if nobody else is willing to talk, I'm going to take my leave to go do something else because I can't stand here all night and keep going over the same story. You know, you have to participate. Gloria says human trafficking. Hey, Gloria, long time. Human trafficking is happening in Jamaica for years now, especially among our children, and they are trafficked internationally and nationally. It's now highlighted by US because the trafficked persons are turning up in their hospitals, courthouses, etc. Good point. Good point, Gloria. Gloria and Maxine, do you guys remember when we were kids and they used to have something called teeth in car? When they used to say that people would grab you and put you in car and take you away? Isn't not that the same thing from way back then? I don't even know what used to trigger that, but we as kids used to be so scared that thief in car would come around with dolls or sweeties or whatever to tempt you, and then they'd grab you and put you in a car and take you away. I remember times when we wouldn't even walk on the street, we would just run. Gloria says yes. We used to be so terrified of that thing they call thief in car. And we used to, all right, when you leave school, you walk across the common, the cow pastures, climb over the wires and, whatever. And then if we have to cross the street at some point, we just kind of run across the street. And when any vehicle is coming, any vehicle, we would just duck and hide over the road bank in the bushes or something because there used to be just this season when they would talk about thief in car. Thief in car or common thief in car would take away people, kids and stuff. And at some point it seemed like it was a fairy tale after you grow up, like it wasn't something real. But maybe it was. Maybe it was. Yes, 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 maybe it was. They used to say they come out and tempt you with doll or sweeties, candies or whatever to get you interested and call you and take you in the vehicle and drive you away. And people used to believe that they would take you and kill you. But um I don't know where that story used to come from. But it's probably the same thing. Maybe this is happening long, long time. Um yeah, as you guys are here, we have some projects that we were talking about that's coming on stream. Um, okay, Gloria says trafficking come in different forms. Yeah, they do. I have no idea why we, as kids, had that story when we were small. Somebody must have been abducted, or maybe it was on the news that people were abducted. Why us in the country were so afraid of that? But thankfully, nobody around us was ever abducted that way that we knew of. Yeah, but we were scared, and it used to happen seasonally. It wasn't an ongoing thing. It was just a now and again thing that would pop up. Um, it's mostly now for body parts. So I heard. I heard that it's mostly for organs now that they're doing this. So be careful. When we talk about Jamaica, Jamaica's problem and sex slave, yeah, the sex slave thing, that's a thing that was always there. I believe it was always there. People take people to work on ship or to take or work overseas, and when they go, it's a whole different story. Some of the stories, the things that people suffer when they land overseas, those stories have never been told. Very horrible. Um, yeah, our projects that we're talking about, we are trying to encourage just about everybody to start something small, start something that you can handle. It doesn't have to be a big thing. We're just trying to create small impacts that will lead to bigger impacts. So if everybody choose something that they can do, um, to make a difference in their community, wherever you are, or whichever community you want to contribute towards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Newmarket. It could be anywhere. Like I mentioned before, we have someone here who is doing something in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. We have someone who wants to do in Newmarket, and another who is doing for Beersheba School to sponsor two kids for this final year, their final year at Beersheba. And the sponsorship is going to include anything they need from books to tablets to, if they have to pay fare to go to school to food, um, and then on to college, high school and college for one of the two. Um, the next project is counseling, grief counseling, providing grief counseling for people. Um, the person who was doing that when she was on here earlier, Pauline Elliott. So if anyone is here who wants to reach out to Pauline to help her coordinating that, or just figuring out what that should look like. Is it some public forums? Is it private conversations via Zoom? How are we going to offer this, right? Um, Maybe just open public forum. I don't know if that's gonna cut it, if people are willing to open up on open forums like those or more private forums on Zoom or what. Like we have to figure that out. And somebody else from Jack's Gate had proposed a project for feeding the elderly and children too. And yeah, we're running with those right now, hoping that we will pick up some more volunteers who want to put up new projects that they can handle. So, are there persons here who want to put something out there or want to join with something that was already mentioned? Gloria, I know you have a lot of experience. In terms of the grief counseling, how do you think we could handle that? Or Maxine too. Maxine, you had some nurses once who were willing to speak, but it was more mental health. I don't know. Maybe we could connect the two things, mental health with counseling, with grief counseling, because one could lead to the other. Really, mental health problem can be caused from grief. Let me know, guys, what you're thinking. If anybody have any new ideas, if anybody here want to connect with somebody who is already doing a project, And oh, we didn't mention the basic school story up in Prospect area, not just Prospect district, but there's some adjoining districts to Prospect. The pastor from the church was on here, and one of the community leaders, two of them were on here last time I was on. I'm talking about what's happening over there in that area. At least they have their little organizations and their churches which are coming together to see what they could do in terms of these projects. But um, I don't think it's a good idea to have kids leave from all the way up there to Whitehall or to Black River or Santa Cruz to go to basic school. Seemed to me like basic school should be in your area, at a central place for the little kids. It's a lot to take kids so far for basic school. Um, Gloria says she has to think about it. I do grief counseling every week, but a little different from what you guys planning. Okay, Gloria. Sure. Um, yeah, but we can use your experience to guide in the right direction because you would have quite um from your experience, you would be able to tell probably what people would react to better. Forums or private. Well, we can't do private for everybody because we don't have money to be paying for counselors, so we can't do private. But small group talks, public thing like this. How would we be able to deliver the counseling? Um, That's kind of my biggest concern. I know somebody else who does that, but she does it in small group in on Zoom, not open to the public like anybody could attend, but it's not done openly so that people could be listening to other people's story unless they're participating. So, yeah. So we'll certainly talk more about these things. And like I said, guys, if there's anything else that you can come up with, we're happy to hear them. We're happy to incorporate them. We will make the platform available for people who want to publicize their projects, want to um, try to get more people to join in their efforts, right? All these projects would be done pretty publicly. There has to be accountability. If they're collecting funds from people, they have to be accountable. Each person will collect their own money to run their project, but we need to see the budget and to see how the money is spent. So just be prepared for that. Just like how I see Donna would Donna Goey, she would just come on there and count out the money and say how it's been done and all of that. That's a very good way of doing public things. Very transparent. And I think we can do well with copying that way of handling things so that people don't question each other about Gloria is saying if we can get volunteer counselors. I don't know. We'd have to probably get in touch with NCU to see if they have volunteer counselors there or even Bethlehem Teachers College. Um, no, I think the counseling, the college that turns out counselors is Sam Sharp Teachers College. We have to see. Um, that's what the discussions need to be around. Where we're gonna find people, how we're gonna find them. Um, the person who is in charge, she lives here in the States, so some guidance and pointing her in the right direction is going to be a good idea so we can maximize this project because like she was saying, people are grieving all over, and she herself is grieving because she has lost loved one after loved one after loved one, and it's taking its toll. So yeah, we do need the advice and that's a good idea. But if you're still up listening, Pauline, Sam Sharp Teachers College is where they train most of the counselors between Sam Sharp and NCU, not Northern Caribbean University. I'm not sure if University of the West Indies train counselors as well, but I know those two places, eh, Northern Caribbean University and Sam Sharp Teachers College. All right. Thank you all for joining, for participating, for being here. I really appreciate your time. And I'll let you guys know in the group when I'm going to be back on. I don't want to make commitment until I'm sure that I will be able to join. But hopefully over the weekend, if not tomorrow, at least by Sunday. All right. Guys, thank you so much. Have a blessed night. We will talk. We will catch up. All right. Good night.